will be conducting your weekly weather briefing for the National Weather Service from the National Weather Service in Peachtree City for Thursday, May 2nd, 2019. So let's get started. We're going to talk about the current weather pattern, the weekend weather, what our severe weather potential and rainfall potential is for today through Sunday, and we're going to get a little bit into the extended temperature and precipitation outlooks. We won't talk much about that, but spoiler alert, summertime is here. For the current weather, we have a slow-moving frontal boundary situated across the central U.S. This will be a major player in our weather through the weekend. There's also a weak low-pressure trough meandering across the peninsula of Florida. Not much change in the weather pattern for Friday. The weak trough of low pressure over Florida is still there. It's now impacting the southeast coast of Georgia, bringing some showers and a few thunderstorms. And if you'll notice, that frontal boundary across the central U.S. hasn't made much eastward progress, but it's still out there. For Saturday, the frontal boundary has begun to push eastward. The wave of low pressure across Florida has dissipated or moved on. Moisture really begins to increase ahead of the front across much of Georgia, so your precipitation chances will also begin to increase. For Sunday, this is when we expect the cold front to clear the state. And for Monday, high pressure builds in behind the cold front and will continue at least through the first part of next week. Now we're going to get to the severe weather potential and how much rainfall we're going to get out of this system. For today, the Storm Prediction Center just has us in a general outlook for thunder, mainly across northern portions of the state and southeastern portions of the state. However, I want to say a few strong storms are possible. An isolated severe storm cannot be ruled out. Primary hazards would be damaging wind gusts or large hail. For Friday, the Storm Prediction Center still has us in a general thunderstorm outlook. However, with moisture increasing ahead of the front, good instability and strong forcing aloft, more coverage of storms is expected, and we are closely monitoring northern Georgia for an increasing potential for strong and isolated severe thunderstorms. I would not be surprised to see the general thunderstorm outlook upgraded to at least a marginal risk for this area later on. Again, the primary hazards would be damaging wind gusts and large hail. I also want to point out, through the period today through Saturday, even the non-severe thunderstorms, the strong ones, will have the potential to produce gusty winds and even small hail. For Saturday, the Storm Prediction Center has much of northern Georgia in a marginal risk for severe thunderstorms. The atmosphere remains unstable, good forcing aloft, and abundant moisture. Again, the primary hazards would be large hail and damaging wind gusts. Also, would not be surprised to see this marginal risk potentially updated to a slight risk. For severe weather potential for Sunday through Thursday, even though the cold front's coming through on Sunday, thunderstorms are possible, but the severe weather potential remains low. For Monday and Tuesday, dry conditions, no precipitation is forecast. Isolated scattered thunderstorms return for Wednesday and Thursday, but the severe weather potential remains too low to mention at this time. How much rain are you going to get? Well, mainly along and north of Interstate 20, ½ inch to an inch, and south of Interstate 20, less than ½ inch generally. However, I want to point out localized flooding remains possible because soils remain pretty saturated across the area. So, again, you could get some localized amounts higher than an inch, especially across northern portions of Georgia. Let's review the potential severe weather impacts For today through Saturday, again, the primary hazards through the period will be damaging wind gusts and large hail. Localized flooding is also possible. The threat for tornadoes remains low at this time. Today, we're going to have minimal storm coverage, but still isolated strong storms or an isolated thunderstorm cannot be ruled out. For Friday and Saturday, storm coverage increases, along with the potential for strong thunderstorms and isolated severe thunderstorms and localized flooding. Well, summertime is definitely here, and according to the Climate Prediction Center, the outlook for May, above normal temperatures will continue, and at least for the western half of Georgia, slightly above normal averages for precipitation are expected. Now, the summer outlook isn't out yet. It should be issued at the beginning of, in the middle of May, but I do have a 3-month outlook for you for May, June, and July. The trend continues with above normal temperatures for much of the southeast U.S. and above normal chances for precipitation for all of the Gulf states. Okay, let's review. The main things I want you to remember from this briefing are: you need to stay weather aware for Friday and the weekend. Would not be surprised to see the SPC outlooks upgraded. And we're entering summertime here, so more summertime light patterns expected. That's all I have for today. I will open up the lines for questions here.